Hello students. In our last lecture, in, we have studied the vowel sounds. There are 44 sounds in English. Out of these 44 sounds, we studied the 20 vowel sounds that monophthongs that we have gone through. Now we are going to study the consonants. So the 20, as we know, are vowel sounds and consonants are 24. So out of these, we have just introduced to the 12 vowel sounds. Then 8 are diphthongs that we have studied in our earlier lecture. Now, today we are going to get ourselves introduced to the consonants. So consonants are, as we know, we have drawn the chart, and in the air passage we have some types of closures for the production of various English sounds. And these English sounds are, of course, to be uttered with some kind of a closure. And that is what we have the consonants. Its sounds are called as consonant sounds. So, when we have to describe these consonant sounds, we have to understand the consonant sounds first. So in English, we have the consonant sounds and we have to study these consonant sounds first. Okay. So what are these consonant sounds? Such a slant bracket needs to be used to enclose the sounds. So we have per sound, b sound, t sound, d sound, k sound, g sound, f sound, v sound, th sound, d sound, s sound, z sound, sh sound, j sound, h sound, m sound, n sound, sound, ng. We have in continuation ch sound, j sound. See, then we do have r sound, we have y sound, we have v sound. See, like these, we do have such a sound patterns. Okay. Then we have l sound. Okay, l sound. See, so in such a way, definitely we have gone through these sounds. Okay. Okay. So if we count them, these are 24 sounds, and these sounds that we need to understand. Of course, P, B, T, D, K, G, F, V, Th, D, S, J, Sh, J, H, M, N, N, Ch, J, R, Y, W, L. See, so these are 24 consonant sounds. Okay, so these consonant sounds that we need to understand here. See how to describe this. For better understanding, you can write these sounds in Marathi also. So if we have this b sound, this is b sound, this is t sound, d, k, g, f, v, th, d, s, z, sh, j, h, m, n, See, this is ch, this is j, this is r sound, this is y, this is w, and this is l sound. Okay, so like this, we do have these sounds, and these sounds are uttered with the help of our speech organs. Again, we have to understand what happens in the production of these sounds. See? Open words. Okay. So, what happens in the production of these sounds? These speech organs that we see are utilized for the production of certain sounds, and these sounds that we need to understand. So, for the production of the sound, we use p and b sound with the help of our lips. T and d sound that we use for the production of these sounds. T and d. The above part means the teeth ridge is come into play. Okay. At the same time, k and g, the back part is used. For again, the lips are used. V, again, lips are used. Then teeth ridge are used. Like this, we have to understand where the production of these sounds have taken place, where the particular sound has been articulated. So we need to understand this. Okay, but before going into that, we have seen these parts in our last lecture. This earlier part is rather fixed. And this part, this jaw that we see here, okay, this jaw is very much active. So the lower part goes to meet the above part, and that is what we can call it as active part. It's changing its position. The lips, the tongue goes above to meet the roof of our mouth. So in such a way, we do have such a type of say the active part. It's it's active, it's passive part of our speech organs. Okay, so like this, we do have to understand these. So the manner, the place of articulation. Okay, so again, we have to go through these details. Okay, when we were studying these, okay, you must know in which category or where the place of articulation is, or how the sounds are produced, because po and d, po and b, or po, t and k, these sounds are just like an explosion. So the manner of utterance is explosive. So that is what these sounds are called as explosive sounds. Then for there is a friction type of say the air passage, okay, and through the air passage, the air comes out with the friction, and that is what we have these particular sounds, okay. So and the again we do have some friction, so these are called as fricatives, okay. So like these we have to understand, suppose there are m and n and g, so these sounds are nasalized sounds because somewhat some air is allowed to pass through the nose or nasal cavity. This is nasal cavity. The air comes out through the nose. So that is what these sounds are called as nasals. Okay. Again, we do have ch and j sound. These sounds are like there is a friction at the same time there is an explosion. So these are affricates, friction and plosive or plosives. Okay. So these are called as affricates. Rho is a frictionless continuum. Yo, these are semi-vowels. Okay, they seems to be consonants, but they also seems to be vowels, and that is what we do have these two vowels. Okay, lo, we have two types of lo: the dark lo and lateral lo or clear lo. So we do have to understand what is the difference between dark lo and clear lo. When we go in detail, we will find. Okay. So again, the point is relevant here. How to describe these consonants? Okay. So for the production of the consonants, we do have to think about the place of articulation. Means where, in what part of our speech organs the sound is produced. Okay. So with the help of lips, these sounds are different form. And the teeth reach or in the oral cavity where actually the sound has been produced. So we have to accordingly find out the place of articulation and we have to give the labels to them. So we do have the adjectives or the labels that are formed such if the lips are used, we have labials. Labial stands for lips or two lips. Bi stands for two. So bilabial. So we have bilabial sounds. Okay. We have lips plus uh, upper teeth are used. So we have labiodental. Dental stands for teeth. So labiodental sounds. Then we have teeth reach, the upper part of teeth reach, where we can call it alveolar. And these sounds where these sounds are produced are d, s, z, and y. See, l sounds. Okay, so these sounds are produced at the alveolar reach. Again, we do have post-alveolar, means just behind the teeth reach, means here. These sounds are produced and these sounds are post-alveolar sounds. R sound is there. Then we have retroflex of some of the sounds. Palato-alveolar sounds means palatal is used. Yeah, okay, here where this palato is used. Okay, palate. It's a hard palate and soft palate. Means this palate that is used, that part comes into play to produce this particular sound. Okay. So we do have ear sound in this palatal sound that we see. Velar means the back part. This particular part is called as velar, and this velar do have some active role to play to allow the air passage to pass through the oral cavity or to pass through the nasal cavity. So we have this velar sounds. Then at the same time here the vocal cords also comes into play for the production of a sound. Her. For the production of her sound, our glottis comes into play, and that is what we have the sounds. So we have the place of articulation, then manner of articulation. Okay, so we have manner of articulation, and these manner of articulation that we need to think about. Okay, C. Then we have to describe whether the soft palate, this particular vowel or soft palate is raised or lowered. Soft palate is raised or lowered. Okay, so we have to describe this particular, say, position of the soft palate. Okay, then at the same time we have to describe again whether the sound is voiced or voiceless. In our last lecture, we have studied the two positions of the vocal cords, and these positions are voiced or voiceless. When for the production of the sounds, the sound is voiced means the vocal cords vibrate for the voice sound. Voiceless means vocal cords are apart, and that is what no friction takes place at this place, and that is what such sounds are called as voiceless sounds. So we have these types of sounds, we have to describe them. Okay. At the same time, when we are describing, we have to indicate whether the sound is pulmonic, aggressive, or ingressive. Ingressive. So we have to describe these particular sounds. Okay. So in what way we have to describe this? Okay. So when we have pulmonic sounds, it stands for the air comes out through the lungs. At the same time, when aggressive, the air comes out freely from the lungs. Ingressive stands for the air that is swallowed into the lungs. And like this, we have ingressive sounds. So, in such a way, we have to describe the consonant sounds. Okay. So, with these words, this particular part, these parts of mouth or speech organs are extremely useful for your better understanding. I hope until you understand how the sounds are to be uttered, until you understand the script, it is called as transcript. It's a call as transcript, and we have to put these sounds in this, say, so-called script. So whatever sounds that we have studied, okay, we have to put our sound patterns or the sound utterance into English, okay, into these English sounds or British RP sounds. These are, as I told you, from the British RP. Okay, these are from the British RP. And like this, we have, as per British Received Pronunciation, these are 24 sounds. Means earlier 20 sounds, and these are 24 sounds. Total 44 sounds are there in English, and these 44 sounds are as per British Received Pronunciation. So, for the Indian speakers or for the Indian learners or Indian students of English, this study of these sounds are very much implicit to produce some kind of a better kind of a so-called pronunciation when we are talking, when we are to be intelligible to the foreigners, when we are speaking with any of the European person or Britishers or any of the foreign person. Definitely we must follow these types of sound utterances, sound patterns, and that is what you have to be intelligible in this way. So in these words, definitely for the better understanding of this, as I told you, Harrison and Bunsel's phonetic say sound or speech sounds. This book is extremely useful for you. At the same time, to understand it more deeply, the Oxford English Dictionary that every student must read and try to produce these sounds. This phonetic script has been used immediately after the words are given. So, like this, we have to understand how we can go into the proper pronunciation habits. So, reading of Oxford English Dictionary and practice the utterances repeatedly definitely will improve your so-called pronunciation habits. And for the tribal students from this tribal region or tribal belt, definitely these speech or these English speech habits will certainly improve your pronunciation habits. And with these words, definitely, I hope that this topic is going to be extremely useful for you also. I request you to download this video and at the same time uh, rewatch, okay, repeatedly watch this video so until you understand in the proper way, okay. And I would request you to transcript writing practice, okay, transcript these speech sounds, okay. Thank you.